So, yeah, there are a few of us here. So we just start. It's 5:30 now. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadakam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamcha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitam Cha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Jayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pamungam Kayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamham Vande Sri Gurun Dinataram Hare Krishna. Yeah. So welcome to all the devotees who are present today in our English Bhakti Shastri class. Yeah, very happy to be back again here. So continuing our discussion that we already completed the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So today we will start with the 16th chapter. Just to remember again what we have discussed in the 15th chapter, where Krishna described about the Aswatha tree, yeah, the banyan tree, which is upside down, yeah, Udva Mula Mada Sakam. So the root going upward and the branches going downward. So that's actually the exact replica of the real tree, which means the material world is actually the opposite, the exact opposite of the spiritual world. So Krishna described in details about the tree, how the tree is nourished by the three modes of material nature. Yeah. So that's how chapter 14 and 15 connected. Yeah, the three modes of material nature, which is actually nourishing the material tree, the material banyan tree. And toward the end of the chapter, Krishna explained that Yomameva Masamudo Janati Purushottama. So those who understand Krishna as the Purushottama, yeah, the supreme person, yeah, the supreme enjoyer. So etat budva buddhi mansha. So he knows everything. Yeah. Buddha etat budva buddhi mansha. Sarva bhavena bhara. So sarva bhava means that person will worship Krishna with full hearted. Yeah. Sarva bhava means with full emotion, with full heart, yeah, full love. So the conclusion is that a devotee, sometimes devotees are confused that, oh, Krishna mentioned here, if you worship Krishna, that means you know everything. Does it mean that you don't have to study anymore? No, but the case here is that the conclusion of the Vedas, as Krishna mentioned in the 15th chapter, Veda is the Sarvair Aham Eva Vedyo, to understand Krishna, to know Krishna. So that is the peak, the top goal of studying the Vedas. Everybody who studied the Vedas would come to that point, yeah, of worshipping Krishna, surrendering fully to Krishna. So Krishna mentioned that, of course, those who know me as the supreme enjoyer and worship me full-heartedly, so he knows everything. Yeah? And in fact, in the last verse of the chapter 15, Krishna mentioned that iti guhyatamam sahasram. That means this is the most confidential knowledge. Yeah. So bhakti is most confidential knowledge. So, and then after describing about the banyan tree of the material world, yeah, what is the leaves? The leaves are the Vedas. Yeah, it nourished by the three multiple nature, the branch. But Krishna did not explain about the fruit of that tree. So chapter 16, the divine and demoniac nature, is actually the two types of fruits of this tree. Yeah. There is good fruit and there is the bad fruit. Yeah. So in the beginning, Krishna will describe what are the Daivi Sampad or the divine nature. Yeah, and then he continued with the Asura Sampad or the demoniac nature and describing further about their activities, the result of their activities. Yeah. And toward the end, from text number 21, we will see later how Krishna described uh, that actually everybody, those who are sober, should give up the demoniac tendency and follow scripture. Yeah. Because those who don't follow scripture, yasasra vidim utsrija, vartate kama gratha, and act according to their whims. Yeah, nasa siddhim avnoti nasukam na param. There is no perfection, there is no happiness, and one cannot achieve the highest goal, param gati. Yeah. So we have to avoid this. Where Krishna mentioned also about the three gates leading to the hell, we have to avoid this. So tasmat etat trayam tyajat means any intelligent person should give up this demoniac tendency. So that's the synopsis of the chapter. We will see the chapter in details. Yeah. The divine and demoniac nature. So this is the breakup of the chapter from 1 to 3, text number 1 to 3. Krishna described about the divine qualities. And then 4 to 8 about demoniac qualities. And then from text 9 to 20, Krishna described about activities and consequences of demoniac people. Yeah. So these are the Daivi Sampad or divine qualities. Yeah. From text 1 to 3. Yeah. Apaya means fearlessness. Sattva Sam, the purification of one's existence. Jnana Yoga Vyavastiti, yeah. Cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Dhanam, charity. Now, this is especially for the grihasas. Srila Prabhupada explained, especially for the grihasas. I just want to mention that in the chapter 14 of the seventh canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, there actually Srila Narad Muni described to Yudhishthira Maharaj about the duty of a grihastha. Yeah. So of course, Narad Muni started by the foremost duty of the grihastha is to hear Krishna Katha on the daily basis. Yeah, to hear Krishna Katha, to perform yajna, and to give charity. Of course, to give charity is one of the main duty for the grihastha, because the grihasthas are considered to be the father of another three ashram. Yeah. So when I just got married, so one devotee told me, so now you are the father of the other three ashrams. You have to maintain all these three ashrams. The brahmachari, the monaprasthas, and the sannyas. So it's compulsory for you to give charity, to give donation for these three ashrams. And I was like scared. Yeah, dana, yeah, charity. And then dhamma, self-control, yeah, especially in sex life. Therefore, Krishna mentioned dharma virudh bhutesh. Kamo asmi bharatar siva. So even in the Grihasa ashram also, we, in our practice in Krishna consciousness, we have sexual intercourse only for the purpose of begetting children. Yeah? And then yagya, performing sacrifice. This is also especially meant for the grihasthas. Swadhyaya, studying of the Vedic literature, especially for the brahmacharis. Tapaha, austerity. Arjavam, simplicity. Ahimsa, non-violence. In the 13th chapter, Srila Prabhupada vividly explained ahimsa means when a person is not preaching Krishna consciousness, that is to be considered to be ahimsa, yeah, non-violence. Satyam, truthfulness. Akroda, freedom from anger. Tyaga means renunciation. Santi, tranquility. Apayashanam, aversion to fault finding. Yeah, this is one of our biggest enemies. Yeah, fault finding. Somehow or other we are enjoying, somehow or other, even after becoming a devotee, we are enjoying this to fault find in others. Yeah. Daya Bhutesu, compassion for all living entities. Yeah. This is also described in 19th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam by Narad Muni. Yeah. Daya Sarva Bhutesu, Santusta Yena Kenava Sarvendriyo Pasantyacha Tushyatyasu Janardana. He mentioned three things. Daya Sarva Bhutesu is the first one, meaning to be compassionate to all living entities. And again, Srila Prabhupada commenting that compassion means to share Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Sarvendriyo Pasantyacha, to be sense control, controlling the senses. Yeah. Santustya yena kenava, be satisfied with whatever comes according to our karma. Yeah. Whether it is happiness or distress, just be satisfied. Yeah. So Tishyatyasu Janardana. So these three things will please Lord Janardana, Lord Krishna. And then Aloluptvam, freedom from greed. Mardhavam, Mardhavam, gentleness. Harihi, modesty, no abominable activities. Achapalam, determination. Yeah, chapala means flickering. Yeah, achapala means no flickering or determination. Tejaha, vigor, which is the nature of kshatriya. Sama, forgiveness. Yeah, dritihi, fortitude. So this is regarding mental and emotional strength. Saucham, cleanliness. Adroha, freedom from envy. Nati manita, no expectation of honor. Yeah. Amanina, amanina manadena. Yeah, we chant this verse 6 as amanina. Manita means honor. Yeah, expectation of honor. So amanina means naati. So this word naati manita means no expectation of honor. Yeah. And Krishna says toward the end, Bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. So these transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men, and they are with divine nature. So these are the Daivi Sampada. Yeah. But of course, to make these qualities, all these qualities that we have seen, to be transcendental, it should be connected, it should be linked to Krishna consciousness. Simply having good qualities without being Krishna conscious is actually not sufficient to give us perfection in life. Yeah. For example, like many people are charitable, yeah, giving a donation to hospital or building road, this and that. But if they are not Krishna conscious, then what is the point? Yeah, that's still bound them. Of course, they get punya, sukriti, material punya, material sukriti. But again, the conception of hell and heaven, they're just like two sides of the coin. Yeah, two sides of a coin. Looks differently, but it's just one coin. So hell and heaven looks different, but still the same, binding. binding the jivas in the material nature. So to make these qualities transcendental, it should be connected to Krishna consciousness. And then now Krishna explains about the Asura Sampada, the demoniac qualities. Damba, pride, yeah. Want to make a show of religion even if sinful. Yeah. This is more into hypocrisy, yeah. Hypocrite nature. Darpaha, arrogance, pride of one's wealth and education. Abhimanaha, conceit, means desire to be worshipped by others. Krodha, anger. Parushya, harshness, being rude. Yeah. Ajnana, ignorance. Chabijatasya partha sampadamasurim. Yeah. So these qualities belong to those of demoniac nature, or son of Rita. Yeah. So these are 6 qualities, Asura Sampada. This is the quote from Srila Prabhupada's lecture. So human life is meant for developing divine characteristics, not this demoniac character. Yeah. Demoniac characteristic is already there, just like Damba. A dog has also pride. I'm this dog. I'm fox terrier. I'm fox terrier. I'm this. I'm that. So Damba is there even in the dog, even in the lower animal, even in the cat. But the divine characteristic, oh, I'm so low, Trinada Pisunichana. I'm lower than the grass. I'm lower than the grass. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. What is this Damba? Why I should be proud? What is this pride? So that is ignorance, due to ignorance. When one man is unnecessarily proud, that means it is due to ignorance. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada specifically talk about this arrogance or pride. Yeah. And yeah, of course, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching, Trinada Pisunichena, we have to be lower than blade of grass on the street. Yeah. But sometimes we, falsely saying to other devotees, sometimes this has happened also to me, that, oh, Prabhu, I am so fallen. Oh, I'm just fallen soul. Please give me your mercy. But within my heart, I feel like, are you kidding me? I go to Mangalarati every day. How can I fallen? Sometimes this thought appear, in my mind. Yeah. So being being proud because of our humility is very dangerous. Sometimes we are very proud because I'm too humble. Look at me, I'm too humble. That means we are falsely proud of our own humility, and that's very dangerous. Yeah, is it only me or other devotees also experiencing the same? Sometimes we are too proud of being humble. So, but then where is the question of being humble if we are proud of our own humility? Yeah, that's a false humility. That's a hypocrite. Yeah. Sometimes we say to other devotees, "Oh, please give me the Maha from your plate." But we are thinking, "I wish you to take the Maha from my plate." Yeah. So these are the Devi Sampad and Asura Sampad. This text number 5. These transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Srila Prabhupada explained. Lord Krishna encouraged Arjuna by telling him that he was not born with demoniac qualities. His involvement in the fight was not demoniac because he was considering the pros and cons. He was considering whether respectable persons such as Bhishma and Drona should be killed or not. So he was not acting under the influence of anger, false prestige, or harshness. Therefore, he was not of the quality of the demon. So this is the destiny of the divine and demoniac people. Yeah. So the divine qualities are very conducive for liberation, and then demoniac qualities simply bring us to the deeper bondage. Yeah. Text number 6. O son of Pritha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine and the other demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac. So text 1 to 3, Krishna mentioned a lot about the divine qualities. Yeah. And in text number 4, Krishna mentioned just briefly about the demoniac quality. And here is the continuation of that. Yeah. What are the activities and so on. Srila Prabhupada explained the condition living entities are divided into two classes in this world. Those who are born with divine qualities follow a regulated life. That is to say, they abide the injunctions in the scriptures and by the authorities. One should perform duties in the light of the authoritative scripture. This mentality is called divine. One who does not follow the regulative principles as they are laid down in the scriptures and who acts according to his whims is called demoniac or asurid. Yeah. This will be explicitly explained by Krishna toward the end of the chapter. Yeah. The verse Yasastra Vidimudrikya. So now we will see in details the demoniac nature. Text number 7. Pravritim cha nivritim cha janana vidurashura na saucham na pichacharo na satyam te suvidyate. Yeah. Pravritim means acting properly, and nivritim means not acting improperly. Yeah. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in it. Yeah. Na saucham, na api chachara. Chacha achara means behave. Yeah. So they don't know good behavior. Na satyam, no truthfulness. Therefore, it is stated here that the demons do not know the scriptural rules, nor do they have any inclination to follow them. Most of them do not know them, and even if some of them know, they have not the tendency to follow them. They have no faith, nor are they willing to act in terms of the Vedic injunction. The demons are not clean, either externally or internally. One should always be careful to keep his body clean by bathing, brushing teeth, shaving, changing clothes, etc. As far as internal cleanliness is concerned, one should always remember the holy names of God and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada here explaining about both external and internal cleanliness. Yeah. Brushing teeth is also very important. Yeah. Srila Rupa Goswami, yeah, Srila Rupa Goswami explained that at least one should brush his teeth once a day. Yeah. But of course, in our case, maybe twice in a day, brushing our teeth and shaving also. Yeah. This is meant for the Prabhus, yeah, for the men, yeah, to shave. Because Srila Prabhupada, one time he was asked, like, Swamiji, why your followers or the Hare Krishna people shave their hair? And Prabhupada respond, you are thinking that by keeping long hair, you look handsome, you know, but actually that's simply a stool on your head. So of course, for women, hair considered to be like a crown. You know. Women should keep long hair, but a man should shave his hair because that's considered to be stool. And Prabhupada said just like that, you know, you think that you look handsome when you're keeping long hair. So feel that you look cool, but how you, Prabhupada said, how you look cool, how you feel cool if you don't shave your head. Instead, you shave your legs. People in the West, they love to shave their legs. So, so to keep the legs warm, you have to keep the hair on the legs, yeah. But people are shaving their legs. So that's the point of Srila Prabhupada mentioning like that. It's just for the reason of cleanliness. Prabhupada just mentioned as simple as that. For the purpose of cleanliness, you have to shave. Bathing, yeah. And then the next one, Asatyam apratistamte jagadahur anishwaram aparashparasham buddha kim anyat kama kam. And Ishwaram means no controller. They say that this world is unreal with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produce of sex desire, and has no cause other than lust. Yeah. Kim anyat kama. This is the way how the demons think. There's no controller. They are thinking that they are the controller. The demoniac conclude that the world is a phantasmagoria. There is no cause and effect, no controller, no purpose. Everything is unreal. They say that this cosmic manifestation arises due to chance, material actions, and reactions. They do not think that the world was created by God for a certain purpose. They have their own theory that the world has come about in its own way and that there is no reason to believe that there is a God behind it. Although the demons say that life is a dream, they are very expert in enjoying this dream. And so instead of acquiring knowledge, they become more and more implicated in their dreamland. We conclude that as a child is simply the result of sexual intercourse between man and woman. This world is born without any soul. So this is completely ignorance, yeah. As Krishna mentioned in text number 4, yeah. Ignorance is one of the demoniac uh, qualities. So thinking like in this way, yeah, there is no controller. This world is unreal. So it's simply ignorance. Yeah. Text number 9. Etam drishtim avasthabhya nastat mano pabuddhaya prabhavanti ugrakarmana ksaya jagatogita. So ksaya jagatogita means simply destroying the world. Yeah. Ugrakarmana, engage in painful activities. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Yeah. Ugra karma. Ugra karma means uh, sinful activities. Ugra, the word ugra means ferocious. Yeah. In one place, Srila Prabhupada translate ugra karma means ferocious activities, which actually destroying Mother Earth, Mother Nature. The demoniac are engaged in activities that will lead the world to destruction. The Lord states here that they are less intelligent. Yeah. Alpa Buddha. The materialists who have no concept of God think that they are advancing, but according to Bhagavad Gita, they are unintelligent and devoid of all sense. They try to enjoy this material world to the utmost limit and therefore always engage in inventing something for sense gratification. So the so-called modern civilization is actually killing civilization. Srila Prabhupada mentioned that very clearly. Modern civilization means killing civilization, and modern civilization not try to frighten anybody here, but Prabhupada clearly mentioned that modern civilization soon will be doomed. Soon we will be doomed, and we are forced by Mother Nature, by the arrangement of Krishna. We have to come back again to what is known as primitive life. Yeah, that primitive life is actually a natural way of living. Yeah, if we see Krishna's life in Vrindavan, the residents of Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj, to fulfill their needs, they don't have to go out of Raj to fulfill whatever they need. Yeah. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada, he really desired that his followers to build a community which is based on agriculture and cow protection for self-sufficiency. Yeah. But of course, it is a big challenge for us because we already get used of so many modern invention that we think that this is actually make our life easier. But if we analyze again, nowadays people just to fulfill their needs, they have to go far away to get a job. Yeah, they have to go far away to get a job. Yudhishthir, Yudhishthir Maharaj explained that a happy person, this is his statement. A happy person means a person who doesn't need to go out of his village just to fulfill their needs. Yeah, just to fulfill their needs. Be localized. Yeah, be localized will make us happy actually. But nowadays we are so proud if we get job in the USA, for example. Yeah, we go far away to get a job just to maintain our life. But how many breads in a day we can eat? How many chapatis you can eat in a day? Yeah. So life becomes more complicated when in one place, Prabhupada mentioned that this is actually uh, unnecessary added engagement. Yeah, when we have too much material desires, so naturally we want to fulfill it. Yeah, and this is demoniac. Yeah, we are wasting our time. So Ksayaya Jagato Hitaha, meant to destroy the world. We have seen like the global warming and so on. We see this, but still we don't realize it. Actually, we are destroying the world, yes, because of the Ugra karma, ferocious activities. Srila Prabhupada in a lecture mentioned the defect of the modern civilization. The demons and the Rakshasas, they are existing always. As I have told you, two classes of men are always there. But in this age, the number of atheist class or demons are very much increased. Otherwise, material world means for the demons, a theistic class, just like the prison house. The prison house means it is meant for criminals. One may be a first class prisoner, one may be a third class prisoner, but it is prison house. Similarly, anyone who is in this material world, never mind whether he is Lord Brahma or the insignificant ant, they are more or less criminal. This is the Prabhupada's statement. Yeah. Even Brahma also considered to be criminal, whether it is first class prisoners or third class prisoners. Why considers to be criminal? Because any living entities who falls down to the material world has the concept or the idea in their mind that they can enjoy separately from Krishna. They want to become controller. There is one explanation that every jiva who first come in contact with the material world, you will get the topmost position of Lord Brahma. Yeah. So all of us here already get the post of Lord Brahma. Once upon a time, we don't remember where it was, but all of us get this chance. And then by the influence of the three modes of mental nature, so we just blinding down. up to the lower species, yeah, animal species. But every jiva who come for the first time to the material world gets immediately the pose of Brahma, because the jiva wants to control something. So there you go. Brahma is the topmost controller. Krishna fulfills that desire. Yeah. One time I was in Indonesia. It was last year, in Narasingha Chaturdasi last year. I was in Indonesia, so I was requested to give a lecture. So I mentioned this. Even Brahma, Prabhupada said, even Brahma is considered to be a criminal. And after the lecture, there's one person. He's non-devotee. He's just a regular Hindu person. He came up to me and just get really mad at me. How dare you say that Brahma is criminal? He's the creator. Well, I try to explain in a softer way. Text number 10. Taking shelter of the insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac, thus illusion, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. The demoniac mentality is described here. The demons have no satiation for their lust. They will go on increasing their insatiable desires for material enjoyment. Although they are always full of anxieties on account of accepting non-permanent things, they still continue to engage in such activities out of illusion. They have no knowledge and cannot tell that they are heading the wrong way. The result is that they become more and more attracted to two things, namely sex enjoyment and accumulation of material wealth. This is exactly Hiranyakasipu, yeah, and Hiranyaksha also. We see Hiranya means gold, yeah. Aksha means eyes. Why the name of this demon is Hiranyaksha? Because he's always searching for wealth. Hiranya Aksha is searching for gold everywhere he goes. And he's searching for enemies. Yeah. Sometimes he said that, oh, who can battle with me? Sometimes he said that my hand is so itching, I want to fight somebody. And he just crashed the mountains. He just crashed the mountain. Yeah. So one day Hiranyaksa went to the abode of Varuna and challenged him for a fight. And then he challenged many demigods. He challenged Shiva. He challenged Shiva, and then Shiva said, "Oh, you don't worry, soon you will be doomed." Because he said that he offered his obeisances and saying that, "Please grant me one boon." And Shiva said, "What kind of boon you want? Please give me a person who can battle with me." And Shiva said, "Okay, granted, don't worry, soon somebody will come and destroy you, you fool," like this. So he just won battle because never feel satisfied. This is the nature of lust. Najatu kama kamana babugena samya. So this is the nature of kama, lust. Najatu kama kamanam upabhogena samyati. The lust cannot be satisfied. We cannot satisfy the lust by supplying the object of the senses. Yeah. Najatu kama kama upabhoga. Upabhoga means enjoyment. The more we try to supply enjoyment to our material desire, that desire will grow just like fire. We think that by pouring ghee, we can satisfy the fire and the fire will just reduce by itself. No. Of course, in one initiation ceremony, I have witnessed one thing that when the hot tree poured too much ghee because the fire is so small, and then he poured too much ghee, so the fire just went off and he was panicking and searching for a match. But in general case, like, if we observe in the fire sacrifice, there's fire, and then when the hot tree porgy, for a slight second, that fire goes down, yeah, and immediately it raise up, when the hot tree porgy, for a slight second, not even a second maybe, the fire just seems to be going down a little bit and immediately going up again. So this is our desire. We sometimes feel that, oh, now I have enough, I'm satisfied. But then in the next moment, this desire even grow bigger. Yeah? It grows bigger. So like Hiranyakashipu, what he doesn't have, what Hiranyakashipu doesn't, what Ravana doesn't have. He has palace of gold. What Duryodhana doesn't have. He has everything, because of karma, just destroying oneself. Many evidences in the scriptures. And this karma, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, they become more and more attracted to two things, sex enjoyment and accumulation of material wealth. Hiranyakashipu. In one of the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that the best example of a demon is Hiranyakashipu. Maybe you have come across to this purport. Yeah, it is in the Bhagavad Gita actually. The best example of a demon is Hiranyakashipu. Therefore, no wonder that Prahlad Maharaj said that Tat sadhu manye shuravarya deshina. He addressed his father as the best of the demon. Yeah. So he didn't say, "Oh my dear father," but he said, "Tat sadhu manye shuravarya deshina." Ashura Varya means the best of the demons. Yeah? Hiranyakashipu is the best example of demon. So this is the demoniac tendencies and their conduct. Text 11 and 12. They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable, bound by a network of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of desires, and absorbed in lust and anger. They secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. The demoniac accept that the enjoyment of the senses is the ultimate goal of life. And this concept they maintain until death. They do not believe in life after death. And they do not believe that one takes on different types of bodies according to one's karma or activities in this world. Their plans for life are never finished, and they go on preparing plan after plan, all of which are never finished. The demoniac person who has no faith in God or the super soul within himself performs all kinds of sinful activities simply for sense gratification. He does not know that there is a witness sitting within his heart. The super soul is observing the activities of the individual soul. As it is stated in the Upanishad, there are two birds sitting in one tree. One is acting and enjoying or suffering the fruits of the branches, and the other is witnessing. Yeah, I think these two verses are clear. Demoniac tendency, money, 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 and money. Always having plan to enjoy. Yeah, even when one becomes very, very old, still, this is called the apasyati, how is that verse start? Dehapatya kalatradishu atmasanya swasat apnikesam pramamidanam pasyanapi na pasyat. So pasyanapi na pasyat means he's seeing, but he doesn't see what he sees. His grandfather died, his father died, somebody on the street died. He's seeing it, But apashyati, he's not seeing his own death. Still, he's thinking that there is another day to enjoy life. So I have this big plan for my enjoyment. Long time ago, I was reading one article about Michael Jackson, you know, the king of pop, they call it. They call him the king of pop. So he said, Michael Jackson said that he's planning to live in his body for 150 years. He has 12 cooks, specifically meant for him, 12 cooks, and make sure that all the ingredients are perfect, clean, nice. He has 12 cooks, and before he eats, somebody should taste that food, confirm there's no poison in it, and the taste is good. And then he has 12 doctor, 12 doctor meant for him. He's so rich. He has everything in life, practically speaking. But what happened? He has the plan to live for 150 years, and he died in his 50. Pashyanapi na pashyati. Yeah. We see our neighbor die. Our friends die. But we don't think that I will die in the next second, maybe. Srila Prabhupada, in his lecture toward the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, he mentioned that Parikshit Maharaj is very, very fortunate. At least he knew that within 7 days he will die. And Prabhupada continued that we don't even know that maybe we will die in 7 minutes or 7 seconds. So we have to always prepare ourselves for that, because that is sure. Yeah. That's why whenever some devotees ask me about myself, are you sure, Prabhu? If I want to do something, are you sure? I just said, yes, as sure as death. That's it. Because death is sure. So the demons, they don't see death, actually. They always have big plans. There was one man in Italy. One man in Italy is doing this business of making the coffin for a dead body. And then there was one person asking him, why you are running this business? He said that, oh, this is our family business from my great-grandfather, grandfather, father. Now I'm continuing the same business. And he's asking again, why? Yeah, because everybody will need this coffin before they bury the body, so they put in a nice coffin. Even some people, old people, they order what kind of design of their coffin meant to be. Yeah, one musician was ordering a big coffin with in the form of guitar. Yeah, so he will be rest in peace, R.I.P. Yeah. So when the when a person died, so in a nice coffin they put their corpse, and then with a nice suit, nice flower, everything nice. But what is the point of decorating a dead body? So yeah, death is for sure. But even after becoming devotees, also we don't see this. And there was one devotee in my country, in Indonesia. So he's like over 70. He got diabetic. He got complication like heart attack, diabetic, kidney fail. You know. So he still has the plan to build a big house. And then when he's planning to make like 4 stories building. When that house just, coming up on the first floor, he passed away. Yeah. He passed away out of heart attack. See, even up to our 70s, sometimes we're still thinking to build a palace for us, for our enjoyment, for my retired life. That's how we say it. For my retired life, I want to have a nice place to stay, and finally I will chant Hare Krishna peacefully. Well, that may not be happen. Yeah. So this is the demoniac attitude and engagement. Yeah. Text number 13 to 15. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my sins. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He's my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Now here, this is what we call false prestige, false pride. Yeah, thinking that, oh, I have so much and I will increase my wealth. Yeah, I will increase my wealth. I have very close friend. Now he's in Jagannath Puri. He's from the USA. You know, so he already like losing so much money. He's losing so much money. I think I told you about him. He was losing so much money, and now he has only about $20,000 in his account because he was losing like so much from million, and it goes down to $20,000. Even after losing so much money, he's still thinking that there's the system of Bitcoin. Maybe you heard about that, about the Bitcoin, that he's still confident that one day this Bitcoin will go up, and the price of the Bitcoin will go up minimum of $5 million. And he's like very confident about it. Of course, I helped him when he came here to Mayapur recently. I helped him so much to find accommodation, this and that. And quite a few times he mentioned, Prabhu, I am fully indebted to you. Once the Bitcoin goes up, I will pay you back. I said, you don't think about this Bitcoin. You forget about that. Forget about this business, Bitcoin. Just be satisfied with this $20,000. You have your fixed income. Put that in the bank and live with the interest. Just chant Hare Krishna. He said, no, don't worry. I'm pretty sure the Bitcoin will go up. I said, good luck. This is demoniac tendency, always thinking that, okay, now I have so much, so I will increase my wealth. But interestingly, Krishna mentioned here, he gives charity and enjoy. Did you notice Krishna mentioned here? Is this demoniac tendency? Giving charity? Yes. What kind of charity? Because Krishna will explain later chapter, mentioning that there are three types of charity according to the three modes. Yeah. So charity here that Krishna meant is giving charity just for gaining some fame, gaining some recognition. This is charity in the mode of passion, and that is demoniac. To give charity, and that their names should be written in the wall along with the amounts. Yeah, along with the amounts that this property is built by this man's charity, something like that, for the recognition. So this is the charity in the mode of passion, and that is demoniac. Yeah. This is from the surrender unto me. Yeah, the demoniac thing that all has been accomplished by their endeavor. The next verse explains their actual achievements. Yeah. So text number 16, thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusion, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into hell. Yeah. A demoniac person believes in the strength of his personal worth, not in the law of karma. According to the law of karma, a man takes his birth in a high family or becomes rich or very well educated or very beautiful because of good work in the past. The best example of such a demoniac man was Ravana. Here Prabhupada mentioned Ravana. He offered a program to the people by which he would prepare a staircase so that anyone could reach the heavenly planets without performing sacrifices, such as are prescribed in the Vedas. Similarly, in the present age, such demoniac men are striving to reach the higher planetary system by mechanical arrangement. These are examples of bewilderment. Yeah, landing to the moon. Yeah, Neil Armstrong, first man landing to the moon. And finally, NASA was exposed lying. And Prabhupada said, one time, because some of Srila Prabhupada's disciples disagree when Srila Prabhupada gives a lecture saying that actually nobody could land in the moon. So one time, Srila Prabhupada was sitting in front of the television watching this 45 minutes video of Neil Armstrong landing in the moon and picking a rock from the moon and return to the earth. And Prabhupada was watching the entire movie of 45 minutes. And then at the end of the movie, after the movie finished, Prabhupada said, "This is nonsense, number one." First of all, moon is one of the heavenly planets. Yeah. First of all, you have to change your body in order to enter heavenly planet. And then second, you have to collect enough piety. And then Prabhupada commented, very funny, that, so what did they get now? Simply a rock? There's so many rocks available here. Why are they just spending millions of dollars to go to the moon and pick up a rock? For what purpose? Yeah, for what purpose? We have so much rock here. Just like Ravana wants to make a staircase by which people can go to heaven without performing yajna. Yeah? Just climbing up the stair, you go to heaven. So people are like this, more or less having the same tendency. Yeah, you want to go to moon, which is heavenly planet, by mechanical ways, so Prabhupada mentioned here. But that is not at all possible. So this is the demoniac people's destination. Yeah, they go to the hell. Self, text number 17, self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige. They sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only without following any rules or regulation. Yeah. Sometimes such demons take up the role of preacher, mislead the people, and become known as religious reformers or as incarnations of God. Common men advertise them as God and worship them, and by the foolish, they are considered advanced in the principles of religion or in the principles of spiritual knowledge. They take the dress of the renounced order of life and engage in all nonsense in that dress. So hypocrisy, yeah, this is going on. I don't want to talk too much about India, but this is like almost common scene in India that one ordinary man is accepted to be God, and they have so many followers. Yeah, and as the Prabhupada mentioned here, that yeah, they're doing all kinds of nonsense in the dress of renunciant, yeah, in the saffron dress, yeah, they wear saffron robe. This is hypocrisy. Text number 18. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion. A demoniac person, being always against God's supremacy, does not like to believe in scriptures. He is envious of both the scriptures and the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is caused by his so-called prestige and his accumulation of wealth and strength. being envious of the scriptures and the supreme personality of Godhead. He puts forward false arguments against the existence of God and denies the scriptural authority. He thinks himself independent and powerful in every action. He thinks that since no one can equal him in strength, power, or wealth, he can act in any way and no one can stop him. If he has an enemy who might check the advancement of his sensual activities, he makes plans to cut him down by his own power. Yeah, like Hiranyakasipu. Yeah, he has the plan to kill Vishnu. Yeah, he ordered all the demons. Yeah, to kill the brahmanas, to kill the cows. So because he's thinking that this Vishnu is the impediment for his enjoyment, now he's thinking that we should kill Vishnu. Now Vishnu is hiding. He falsely thinking that now Vishnu is hiding. After killing his brother, now he's afraid of me, he's hiding. But how Vishnu and all his followers, such as demigods, are fed, are nourished through yagya. So first business is to kill the brahmana and the cows to stop the yagya. And then when the demigods are suffered, so they will go to Brahma and Brahma will request Vishnu to appear. So when Vishnu appear, I will chop his head using my sword. That was Hiranyakasipu's statement, the seventh chapter, in the seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. You want to kill Vishnu. Yeah. So that is the way of a demon thinking, that whoever becomes the impediment for my sense enjoyment should be killed. Text number 19. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Now, this word perpetually seems to be like Krishna is without mercy. Yeah, Krishna without mercy, perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence. Seems like Krishna is such a cruel God. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, it is stated that an individual soul, after his death, is put into the womb of a mother, where he gets a particular type of body under the supervision of superior power. Yeah. Therefore, in the material existence, we find so many species of life, animals, insects, men, and so on. All are engaged in the superior power. They are not accidental. So a person's activities is actually an indication of his desire. Therefore, if a person engaged in the demoniac tendency, so Krishna grant that boon, that he will be born in the demoniac family and finally will gliding down to the lower species of life. And we will see, actually that is, Srila Prabhupada will explain in the next verse, that is actually the manifestation of Krishna's verse. Prabhupada mentioned, yes, when the jiva gets a body of a demon, sometimes Krishna comes directly to kill that demon and benefit the life of that demon. Yeah. So Krishna is not a cruel God. Yeah. This is how Krishna treats the demoniac by fulfilling their desires. Yeah. To be born in the demoniac species according to karmana and daivanetrina, according to the past activities and daivanetrina. Yeah. Supervision of the superior power. Text number 20. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. It is not that God is all merciful, but here we find that God is never merciful to the demoniac. It is clearly stated that the demoniac people, life after life, are put into the wombs of similar demons and not achieving the mercy of the Supreme Lord. They go down and down. so that at last they achieve bodies like those of cats, dogs, and hogs. Yeah, we may think like that. How? Mm, Because Krishna also mentioned in the ninth chapter, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu Namedvesas. He's equal to all living entities. He has no enemy, he has no friends. But here, Krishna mentioned that, you know, for the sinners, he puts in the body of demoniac family and finally goes down to the lower existence. But Srila Prabhupada clarified here, the placing of the asuras, the demons, in the lowest status of life is simply another feature of his mercy. Sometimes the asuras are killed by the Supreme Lord, but this killing is also good for them. For in Vedic literature, we find that anyone who is killed by the Supreme Lord becomes liberated. There are there are instances in history of many asuras, Ravana, Kamsa, Hiranyakasipu, to whom the Lord appeared in various incarnations just to kill them. Therefore, God's mercy is shown to the asuras if they are fortunate enough to be killed by him. Yeah. So this is how Krishna deals with the demoniacs. Yeah. Krishna's treatment. Prabhupada's lecture. But unfortunately, instead of taking shelter of Krishna, we have taken shelter of lusty desires. This is demoniac. Therefore, it is said, Kaman Asritya Dushpuram. Dushpuram. Du means very difficult, and Puram means satisfaction. Dushpuram. We have taken shelter of lusty desire, which will never be satisfied. This is our position. Kamam Asritya Dushpuram. This materialistic person, demons, their desires are never fulfilled, increasing, more. So that means increasing means we are becoming implicated more and more. The business of human life is how to become free from this material engagement. Yeah? This is the business of human life. So up to this point, Krishna already described in the beginning the divine qualities, and then he continue with the demoniac qualities. What are their activities? What are the result of their activities? So now Krishna will give us advice that we have to give up this demoniac tendency. Yeah, because demoniac tendency means kama, krodha, lobha. Mostly in these three circles. Yeah, lust, anger, and greed. Tasmat etat triumphat. We have to give up because that is the gate to the hell. Yeah. Yeah. So text 21 to 24, giving up demoniac tendencies and following scriptures. Yeah. The result of performing demoniac activities is to be cast by Krishna into lower species and other types of hellish life. Because lust, anger, and greed are the beginning of demoniac life, all sane men should give them up and understand their duty by faithfully following the scriptures. The ultimate difference between divine and demoniac is that the divine follows scripture, whereas demons do not. Yeah, this is the difference, yeah, between godly and sinners. Yeah, the divine people, they follow scriptures, and the demons, they don't follow scriptures. So text number 21. Yeah, Trividam Narakasyedam Dwaram Nasanamat Manaha Kama Krodas Tatalobas Tasmat Etat Trayam Jaja. There are three gates leading to this hell. Yeah, because Krishna in the previous verse mentioned that perpetually they will go to the lower species, finally they will go to the hell. Yeah. So now, Krishna mentioned here, there are three gates leading to this hell. Lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give this up, or they lead to the degradation of the soul. Trayam Tyaja. Tyaja means to give up. Yeah? Sarva dharman parityaja. Tyaja means to give up. The beginning of demoniac life is described herein. One tries to satisfy his lust, and when he cannot, anger and greed arise. A sane man who does not want to glide down to the species of demoniac life must try to give up these three enemies, which can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from this material entanglement. So the interesting fact about lust produces anger and greed. How? Lust produces anger when lust is unfulfilled. And the material desire unfulfilled, one becomes angry. And then how lust produces greed? When it's fulfilled, when the material desire is fulfilled, one becomes greedy, wanting for more. Yeah. So lust is the cause of both anger and greed. So this is the three gates leading to the hell, and we have to give them up. Yeah. Text number 22. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains supreme destination. One should be very careful of these three enemies to human life: lust, anger, and greed. The more a person is freed from lust, anger, and greed, the more his existence becomes pure. Then he can follow the rules and regulations enjoined in the Vedic literature. By following the regulative principles of human life, one gradually raises himself to the platform of spiritual realization. If one is so fortunate by such practice to rise to the platform of Krishna consciousness, then success is guaranteed for him. By cultivating knowledge of this process, one can be elevated to the highest position of self-realization. This self-realization is perfected in devotional service. Yeah. In that devotional service, the liberation of the conditioned soul is guaranteed. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, there are, there are instituted the four orders of life and the four statuses of life, called the caste system and the spiritual order system. There are different rules and regulations for different castes or division of society. And if a person is able to follow them, he will be automatically raised to the highest platform of spiritual realization. Then he can have liberation without death. So I highlighted this point. This self-realization is perfected in devotional service because there are different grades. Yeah, there are different level of self-realization. Yeah, self-realization means realizing the self, realizing that we are not the body. This is self-realization. So the Mayavadis understand that Aham Brahmasmi, I am the soul, I am not the body. But that is not perfect until and unless he has that concept of I am not the body, and then he engaged in devotional service. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, the self-realization is perfected in devotional service. So liberation is guaranteed only through devotional service. Although the Mayavadi can get impersonal liberation, that's not actual liberation because they have to come down again at some point. Yeah. So liberation is guaranteed for those who are performing devotional service. And self-realization is perfected in devotional service. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned about the aspect of Varnashram. Yeah. And I highlighted that point that by following this system, yeah, one can be raised up to the highest platform. Of course, Varnashram is not amongst the 64 angas of bhakti mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion. Yeah. One may think that, is it really important to follow Varnashram? Yeah, it is. Otherwise, why Srila Prabhupada would emphasize this so much? He mentioned 50% of my mission is remain incomplete, and that is Varnashram. Yeah, many devotees misunderstood this. Oh, as soon as you chant Hare Krishna, that's it. It's all over. You are perfected. But um, we are not on the level of Haridas Thakur. Srila Prabhupada in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the incident of the Brahma cursing Chaturkumara, yeah, when they refused to do the procreation, yeah, they refused. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned, for a person, for a liberated person like the Chaturkumara, they don't need to follow Varnashram. But we are not liberated, so we have to follow. Varnashram is actually the lifestyle, the Vedic lifestyle. That's very conducive for our devotional service. Prabhupada mentioned that Varnashram will bring us to the platform of Sattva Gun. When we reach that platform of Sattva Gun, so it's easier for us to jump to the next level, which is Visuddha Sattva. Yeah. Therefore, in the Vishnu Purana, it is mentioned, Varnashrama Charavata Purushina Padakuma Vishnu Aradyate Panta Na Anyat Tatosa Charana. There is only one way how to satisfy Lord Vishnu. Na Anyat Tatosa. There is no other way. And how? By engaging in devotional service simultaneously following the Varnashram system. Yeah. Lord Ramchandra is a strict Varnashrama follower. Yudhishthira Maharaj is also. Yeah. So we should not be confused about this. Of course, many devotees think that, oh, Varnashram means village life, poor life. We're just dealing with land and cows. I'm not ready for this. No, I mean, Varnashram is a vast topic. But the point here is that we try to follow the Vedic way of living. That's much more conducive for our devotional service. Yeah, we can compare how the devotee is living in the city and how the devotee is living in the village, in the community. Yeah, in Indonesia we have Vaishnava village. Yeah, everybody is Vaishnava. All the land belong to all the village. The land belongs to the devotees, and all the land certificate are kept in the temple inside a locker. So devotees cannot sell their land without the permission of the whole community. So we don't sell our land to the non-devotees because we want to be protected in the community. We do farming, we produce our own food. Yeah. So this is very ideal way of living. Yeah. Live in the community of the devotees. If you don't get up for Mangalarati, you will feel ashamed. But in the city life, like life is so, uh, you know, uh, intricate. Yeah, busy in the morning. You have to go for work. You know, like this. You know. So yeah, of course, Dwaraka is also a city, but not like Calcutta city or Bangalore city. Yeah. So yeah, Varnashram plus devotional service becomes a Daivi Varnashram. That type of Varnashram that we have to follow, as Srila Prabhupada instructed us. Okay. And then text number 23. This is regarding if a person not following the scriptures. Yeah. Yasasravilimutsrija vartate kama karatha nasasirim avapnoti nasukam na param. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims. Yeah, the word kama here, Prabhupada translated as his own whims. Yeah, his own whims, his own desire. Yeah, his own whims attain neither perfection, nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. As described before, the Sastra Vidhi or the direction of the Sastra is given to the different castes and orders of human society. Everyone is expected to follow these rules and regulations if one does not follow them and acts whimsically according to his lust, greed, and desire, then he never will be perfect in his life. In other words, a man may theoretically know all these things, but if he does not apply them in his own life, then he is to be known as the lowest of mankind. Yeah. The word karma karataha is very significant. A person who knowingly violates the rules act in lust. He knows that this is forbidden, but still he acts. This is called acting whimsically. He knows that this should be done, but still he does not do it. Therefore, he is called whimsical. Yeah, I intentionally put the picture of Ravana here, as it is described that Ravana, he memorized all the Vedic mantra, yeah, with his 10 heads. With 10 heads, what you cannot memorize? You know, he's very clever, very intelligent person. He memorized all the Vedic mantras, and the way how he chants the mantras is actually so enchanting. Yeah. But as Srila Prabhupada explained, despite of knowing the theory, if one doesn't follow the scripture, then he's called whimsical. Yeah. So one day when Indra was performing yajna, because he knew that his uh, step-brother, Ravana, is very expert in chanting Vedic mantra. So he give invitation for Ravana to attend his yajna just for and Indra wants that Ravana will be the chanter of the Vedic mantra. And Lord Brahma said, no, don't invite him. This is dangerous. But still, Indra invited him, and then Ravana came. They sat down together, and then they performed the yajna. Ravana started to chant the Vedic mantra, and every time the priest pouring the ghee, so they chant Swaha. And then Agni heard the way how Ravana chants the mantra, told his wife Swaha that, oh, my dear wife, listen how Ravana is chanting the mantra. So nice, so beautiful. You know, maybe you just appear and bless Ravana. And then she just appeared. As soon as she appeared, Ravana stopped chanting the mantra and then kidnapped Agni's wife. So this has happened, yeah. Instead of knowing the theory, still we don't follow. This is called whimsical. And then the result, nasa siddhim, na sukam, na paramgati. Yeah. So this is actually relatable for our life as practicing devotees. We know so many rules and regulations, but sometimes we have the tendency of not following. Simple example, for example, we should not eat something which is not offered to Krishna. Yeah. But many devotees in our community, we just buy some snacks or buy some biscuit, which is cooked by non-devotees, which is unoffered, and just eat. Yeah, because it is no onion, no garlic. As long as no onion, no garlic, no eggs, no meat, you can eat. Well, that's what we call whimsical. Yeah. We know the rules, but we don't follow. I mean, this is just a small instances. Yeah, just small instances. Of course, the best thing is that we eat only what we offer to Krishna. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not trying to criticize anybody here. Okay. And then the last verse, yeah, of the chapter. So this is the result of disregarding scriptures. Yeah. Last verse. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by regulation of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulation, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. As stated in the 15th chapter, all the rules and regulations of the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. Yeah, Vedaisa Sarvaya Aham Devapiti. If one understands Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita and becomes situated in Krishna consciousness, engaging himself in devotional service, he has reached the highest perfection of knowledge offered by the Vedic literature. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this process very easy. He asked people simply to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and to engage in devotional service of the Lord and eat the remnants of good stuff offered to the deity. One who is directly engaged in all these devotional activities is to be understood as having studied all Vedic literature. He has come to the conclusion perfect. Yeah. So Prabhupada mentioned, yes, this is the conclusion, devotional service. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it very easy. Yeah. Prabhupada clearly mentioned here. We heard many times devotees said, this process is so easy. Prabhupada said that this process is so easy. And this is the evidence. This is the praman. You can quote like this. When you give a class, when you say, oh, Srila Prabhupada in his purport to text number 24, chapter 16 of the Bhagavad Gita, said that this process that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu give is very easy. So your audience will listen at you and they think, wow, you are so scholar. You quote the exact number of the sloka and exact word of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, I'm just saying. So yeah, process is so easy. Chant Hare Krishna, dance, do some service, and eat only prasadam, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned here. Yeah, eat only prasadam. We see the story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita when uh, Prakash Nanda Saraswati criticized Lord Chaitanya for being sentimentalist. Why he's a sannyas, but he's not studying the Vedanta Sutra. He's a sannyas. Why you are a sannyas? Why you're not studying the Vedanta Sutra? Instead, you are simply chanting and dancing. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, my Guru Maharaj said that I'm a fool number one. I'm not eligible to study the Veda. So he just advised me to chant and dance like this. And then, of course, that's kind of sarcasm. Yeah. And Prakashananda Saraswati said, okay, if it is so like that, let me teach you the Vedanta. So sannyas means you should be studying the Vedanta. You should study the Vedanta. Anyway, this process, if we just follow, so that's the highest conclusion of perfection, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned. Yeah. Of course, we should not chant just out of our sentiment, but we have the base, we have the philosophy here. Yeah. We have to engage ourselves in some service also. Yeah. Because many devotees realizing that the taste of the chanting of the holy name comes along with the service that they perform. Yeah. Simply chanting without performing some service, that will not help us to get the namaruchi. Yeah. So that's the end of the chapter. Follow scriptures and get elevation. So just to conclude the chapter, that Krishna explained about the divine qualities and also demoniac qualities, their activities, the result, and ultimately as a sane man who wants to be elevated to the higher grade, higher level of perfection. So we have to follow scriptures, because the difference between divine and demoniac is the divine, they follow scriptures, and the demoniac, they don't follow scriptures. And these two things are actually the fruits of the aswata tree, of the material tree, good fruit and bad fruit. So after getting this all kind of information that Krishna explained, so it is only the matter of our own choice, yeah, which fruit that we have to choose. Yes, Navadvip Sachimataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I have a question for you on selfishness versus maturity. So sometimes what happens is that we as devotees take up a particular seva and we become very attached to that seva. Because you know, taking that seva is helping you tremendously because you can see that commitment is actually helping you with your sadhana.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for a devotee to be mature, you have to offer and give up that seva to somebody else also, to give another person an opportunity to do that seva. So I'll just take a small example. So let us say, for example, I open the Mangalarti link every day so that some devotees join to do Mangalarti. The reason I am so attached to that seva is because I know I am forced to get out of bed on time to log in. But at the same time, by not giving others an opportunity to take up that seva, I may be preventing them from having that same level of commitment. It's because I notice that if you don't get up to open that link, your mind simply tells you, oh, today you take rest. Wake a little up.
Yeah.
Wake up a little later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in your mind and in your experience, how do you balance this two out? On the one hand, you're doing something because it helps you. On the other hand, you have to let go because you need to teach others, or rather, you have to give other devotees an opportunity to take up that seva.
Right. Thank you so much. This is very practical question. Yeah, this practical question. It deals with the practicality, not simply theory. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, that's true. Sometimes we are too attached to some service. And Sanatana Goswami said that Tatra Lalyam Api Mulam Ekalam. Yeah. So there's only one way how one can get the bhakti rasa, taste of performing devotional service. Tatra Laulyam, by becoming greedy in a particular service, do it over and over again. One becomes attached naturally with that service, as what we see in your own life. Like you become attached to this particular service, but at the same time, as you rightly mentioned, in order to become more mature in your practice, sometimes you should become selfless and not exactly giving up that service. I would say that we should not give up the service, but when we hand over some particular service to other devotees, it does not necessarily mean that we give up that service, but we are giving the opportunity for others also to advance. And that's actually a more mature state of thinking, more mature state of giving some decision, because we are giving a chance to others also to perform that service, but provided you get another service. You get another service. So in that way, you don't give up that service. Yeah, you may think that, oh, if I give up this service, then if you think that if I give this service to others, that means I'm giving up service to Krishna. But the point here is that you give up that service for other devotees, provided that you have another service to do. Yeah, you have another backup service to do, because in Krishna's eyes, all services are equal. Whether you perform the arati in the altar, or you clean the floor, you clean the toilet, in Krishna's eyes, it is service. Service and service is service. Yeah. So you are giving the chance to others, first of all, to train them to take up that service, because maybe you have been doing this for many years. So it's time now for you to, give this service to others, giving them the chance, and then you take up another service. So in that way, you don't lose anything. And that's actually the mature state of mind. Sometimes Krishna wants to take away your attachment, including attachment to your service. There's one example of Tamakrishna Maharaj. So he was the uh, Sankirtan leader of Radha Damodar party. Yeah, yeah, Radha Damodar Sankirtan party. He was the Sankirtan leader, and he was like holding the top record of book distribution. You know, and then Prabhupada calls him, and then Prabhupada said, "You go to China." And Maharaj said, "No way. I'm too attached to this service, Prabhupada. No way. Hmm? No way. I cannot go to China and just leave this party because it's so good. It's so nice. You are holding the topmost position. You're recognized as the best book distributor." And Prabhupada said, "No, you go to China and preach there." And Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, "No, Prabhupada, I can't leave this service." Prabhupada said, "Don't worry, I'll find somebody to replace your position." Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, "No, Prabhupada." And Prabhupada took his cane and just bang it on the floor. "You go to China or you go to Mayapur and just chant Hare Krishna. I don't give you any service." And then that's it. And Prabhupada just told him, "Now you can leave. You think and you decide. Meet me tomorrow morning." And Tamal Krishna Maharaj was thinking like overnight. He's too attached with this position of being the Sankirtan leader of Radha Damodar party. He doesn't want to go to China, but at the same time, Srila Prabhupada wanting him to go to China and start preach there. Otherwise, Prabhupada said, "I take up all service. You don't have any more service. You go to Mayapur and just chant Hare Krishna. You don't get any service." So the point here is that sometimes we are too attached with our service, right? But when there is particular time by Krishna's arrangement or Guru's arrangement, we have to be, not too attached with anything actually, including our service, and find another service. And that's also sometimes this attachment giving us a comfort zone. I have been doing this many years. I know what to do exactly for this service. It's comfortable for me. I'm doing this service. It's great for my life. But sometimes in order to advance more, we have to give up the comfort zone. Yeah. We have to give up the comfort zone and try another new service and struggle, start from the beginning. That's how Krishna sees our sincerity. So giving another devotee our service doesn't mean that we are thoroughly giving up service, provided that we have another backup service. Okay, you try another service, try with another struggle. Maybe it's too comfortable for you now in this position because you know every nook and corner of this service. So there's no difficulties. But sometimes Krishna wants to see how much is our sincerity. Is this devotee still performing service despite of some difficulties? Just like uh, Sudama Vipra, yeah, he's too attached to renunciation, which is good, but Krishna doesn't want it. Yeah, Krishna doesn't want it, and he gives him opulence. So that's my response, Mataji. Yeah, sometimes we have to give up our service and take another service and give this service to other devotees to give them chance, because this is the mood of the gopis also actually. What is the mood of the gopis? To give other chance to serve Krishna. Yeah. Here, Brajanath Prabhu commenting here. Even at ISKCON also we give some charity and get the name printed on the walls. It's going back to the that discussion. Is this considered as charity in the mode of passion, as we encourage charity and display of name to? Kindly help me to understand this. Well, it's depend on one's personal thought, you know, one's personal thought. It depend on our mood and mentality. Yeah. Of course, as humble devotees, when we give charity donation, yeah, we don't want, but to encourage others to donate to the temple. Sometimes the temple also would do this, you know. like here in Mayapur, we see like there are many of this kind. Even in the place where next to the place where you wash your hands and feet, there's a place where you can get drinking water. And on the top of that, it is mentioned that this is donated by such and such. So that's, well, depend on the person who give the donation actually. Of course, like we don't want recognition, but in order to encourage others to donate, also maybe temple can do that because we require fund. Yeah. So that's depending on one's mentality. I would say like if you want fame, even subtly, then that's in the mode of passion. But if you just want, okay, this is for the service to the devotees, that's it. Get printed or not get printed, doesn't matter. So it's depend on one's mentality.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
All right, last one because we already crossed out the time. Yes, Mathurapati.
So thank you very much for your valuable class. We'd like to know the root cause of ignorance, Prabhu. What is the root cause of ignorance?
Yeah. The root cause of ignorance. Actually, Srila Rupa Goswami explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that the root cause of our entanglement in the material world is ignorance. So now the root cause of ignorance is the material desire, which arises due to our selfish nature. We want to enjoy separately from Krishna. So the moment we want to enjoy separately from Krishna, then we start misidentifying ourselves. Rupa Goswami explained the first and foremost ignorance is when we misidentify ourselves with the body. Yeah, because in order to enjoy separately from Krishna, we should have this conception that I'm this body. That's like the first ignorance is to identify oneself with the body, and the root cause is just that desire. Icha, dvesha, samudena, dvandva, mohena, bharata. Icha and dvesha. Icha means material desire. Dvesha means envy. Oh, why only Krishna is enjoying? Why only Krishna is controlling? I also want. Yeah. So the root cause of our entanglement is ignorance. The root cause of ignorance is our material desire. We want to enjoy separately from Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
All right. So thank you so much. I don't believe that we finished the 16th chapter today. So we'll see you again on Saturday.